Hey everyone, this is Pete, and welcome back to the Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes, the case of the Serrated Scalpel. The last episode, we found the murder scene, which we are still at. We got a few leads to go on. We got a few things we're going to need to come back with some tools for, I think. So we're going to do that first. Just going to head back to Holmes's apartment and see if he happens to have a pair of tweezers laying around. Because there's some mysterious black hair that I think would be worthy of nabbing. This pine-topped, acid-stained table holds a variety of laboratory apparatus ready to perform chemical analyses and experiments. A vast collection of chemicals, test tubes, pipettes, retorts, litmus paper, and glass-stoppered bottles are scattered around an oil wick burner. Excuse me. And a high-powered microscope. A more than slightly noxious odour pervades the whole area. Right, well, let's use the powdery specimen on the lab table, because we needed to analyse that anyway. How do we do this? I can't remember. The packet of swan vestas, the safety match of choice to Her Majesty the Queen. Alright, well, let's pick up the matches. Nothing of interest here. Alright, so we'll use the matches. It's not a good idea to heat an empty tube. Alright. So, use the powdery specimen on the test tube. Adding sulfuric acid to the test tube. Sure, Holmes, you know best. You know best. That's fine. So, use the powdery specimen on the test tube. Room temperature is not sufficient for this test to react properly. Well, fine, use the bloody matches then. Okay. Now, use the powdery specimen on the test tube. Adding zinc. Sure. Adding powder found on victim. I'm glad this wasn't copy protection, because I do not have the manual to hand. A black mirrored surface forms. This indicates the presence of arsenic. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? The chemical reaction has caused a dark mirrored film to form on the cooler upper portion of the tube. This reaction is indicative of arsenic. Alright. Alright, well, we also want to analyse the flour, don't we? Oh, we got different tools this time. Oh, we do have tweezers. But I can't take the tweezers. Okay, fair enough. Alright, so inventory. Use the flour on the microscope. Determining cause of petal discoloration. The petal is artificially dyed. That looked very much like a leaf, but, you know, I'll let you have that. A pink carnation with dark veins in the petals. Does that tell us anything? This experiment requires a warm water bath for the chemicals to react properly. Well, fine. Use the matches. I'm glad Holmes knows what he's doing, because I don't. Alright, there's your warm water bath. Use the flour on the flask. Adding nitric acid to warm water bath. Adding silver nitrate. Adding ground flower petal to solution. A yellow precipitate indicates iodine. The dye used must have an iodine base. Okay, is that helpful information? I'm not sure. Analysis of the flower petal has determined that the substance used to colour the petals is an industrial cleaning agent with an iodine base. Okay, that is probably helpful information. I still want like a pair of tweezers. A common 6-blade utility knife of the type used by Swiss infantrymen. Versatile in emergencies and dire straits. The primary blade of this one fixes unanswered correspondence and a few unwelcome bills to the wooden mantle like butterflies to a specimen box. Can I take that? No. A collection of odd bits and bottles, all of which bespeak the vices Watson so tirelessly condemns, plus today's cigar ends and cigarette butts. JPVD Rolston's classic Griffin Rampant, an exhaustive survey of the subtle influence which Anglo-Saxon coats of arms exerted on moribund Norman heraldic traditions in the reign of William Rufus. I do love the writing in this. It's very true to classic Holmes. An apparatus commonly used for manufacturing soda water on a small scale. A siphon is attached to the double beaker so water can be drawn off into an occasional whiskey and soda. Because these devices have a tendency to explode unexpectedly, it is always kept away from the sitting room's lounging area near the fire. A set of 3 hurling sticks used in a mysterious Afghan game in which large groups of men ride donkeys over a great distance for the purpose of capturing the stuffed head of an albino goat. That's probably a reference to a home story. Coral scuttle. A wooden box, tastefully decorated with contrasting concentric circles and geometric shapes. Despite its name, coal has never marred the inside of this box. Instead, a sizable quantity of Havana cigars and a stash of unread medical periodicals comprise its contents. Do I need anything from there? No. Okay. A commonplace oak desk with drawers, a stethoscope, and some letters are scattered around the top. This drawer is unlocked. Well then. Done. Okay. Contents of drawer. A small quantity of expensive stationery, beautifully embossed and watermarked, is neatly stacked in the left corner. It also contains a few pens, pencils, a pipe tool, and some pipe cleaners. Nothing of interest here. Okay. Well, that was worthwhile. Anything else? I'd say it's strange that it highlights that specifically, but I'm familiar enough with adventure games to know that they're always full of red herrings. A rosewood sideboard, the top of which is strewn with cigar boxes, assorted bottles of alcoholic spirits, the odd plate or two, a common gasogene, and sundry ornamental Victoriana. This cannot be opened. I want something to pick up that oil with. The oil in the hair, but I don't really have... I'm never going to scrape it up with like some business cards or something. Okay, well let's go back to the crime scene. And see if we can tell Lestrade anything interesting about what we find. It's time we made a move, Watson. Carry on, Holmes. I'll follow your lead. So that's their flat over there. Let's go back to the alley first. Lestrade! Is there anything more you can tell me, Inspector? I've said all I have to say. I can only hope that my inquiries into the source of the murder weapon will reveal some new link that will lead me to this foul criminal and help me send him to the gallows. I hope you've seen something that I have overlooked, though I suspect the chance is remote. It appears I have little choice save to report to the Yard that Jack the Ripper is no longer satisfied with hunting in Whitechapel. A citywide alert must be posted. Is everything here exactly as you found it? Nothing's been moved since I arrived, Mr. Holmes. I rang up the inspector and he was most particular in his instructions. Touch nothing, he says. So I've been standing here like a lump. Do you have any information that would assist our investigation, Constable? No, Mr. Holmes. I'm sorry, but what with fending off the newspaper gents and half the nosy buggers in London, I've been preoccupied, as you might say. Alright. Watson, do you have any thoughts? The ragged edges of these shallow wounds suggest a knife shaped like a surgeon's scalpel, but with a serrated blade. Are you familiar with such an instrument, Watson? I've never seen a tool like that in a surgery or anywhere else. I can't imagine a medical use for such a knife. Is it your professional opinion that these wounds match those described in the official reports of the Whitechapel murders? I'm sure you are much more intimate with the gory details of those cases than I, Holmes. You seem to have the stomach for it. The only thing that is clear to me is that this unfortunate woman is the victim of something more ghoul than human. Don't be so certain, my friend. The mysterious and the monstrous are rarely the same thing. Do you see anything of significance, Watson? I'm not sure, Holmes. What I see disgusts me so that I can barely think. I believe I have seen no clues that reveal the truth of this horrible matter to me. If I have seen any, I have not been able to understand them. I'm sorry. I assume we can't take this. Oh, we can. Okay, that's fine. Let's just disturb the crime scene. Cool. Cool. We'll just take everything. I don't think he'd let us take the handbag though, did he? Please examine anything you like, but I shall need that handbag and its contents as evidence. Please look at anything you like, but I shall need that hat as evidence. The playbill is dated for 2 nights ago. On the back is a message which appears to have been hastily scrawled. S. Meet me outside the stage door after the show. I have important news. B. This is a 2-foot section of iron pipe. Both ends are corroded by rust. Yes, we know that one. Okay, let's have another peep in here. Need to do something with that stain, but I'm not sure we've got what we need for that yet. Can we use these? You can't do that. Well, alright. Can take the card though. Okay, alright. Pick up everything that is not nailed down. That is the rule, as everyone knows. Mirror and filigree work in mirror frame. The mirror is one solid piece of glass with no removable back. The nooks and crannies of the carved mirror frame, which is poorly painted a dingy yellow to look like gold, reveal nothing out of the ordinary. Nope, nothing new there. A well-travelled but unexpectedly lovely oriental silk dressing screen. The demands of modesty forbid an explanation of what goes on behind the screen, but suffice to say there is nothing worthy of note there now. Okay, it doesn't look like much else we can do here just yet. Oh, can we compare... Can we compare the note on the playbill? No. Okay, well, let's move on for now. I'll be back, I tell you. Right. So there's the perfume shop, where she got the perfume from, and I think that's the only other place we can go at the moment. Alright, let's check out her flat. Let's start by rifling through her laundry. A capacious wicker basket of the type manufactured in Singapore and sold in nearly every street market in the metropolis. This one contains a conventional assortment of dirty laundry. Among the sheets, towels and female undergarments is a men's orange-coloured rugby sweater. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? A sweater. I will have that. Or I will bring it out at least. A men's rugby sweater with the colours and insignia of the Kensington Rugby Club. The back of the collar is heavily stained with macassar oil, and a few black hairs are embedded in the fibres of the wool. Well, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? So we can't take that, but hopefully we've made a note of that. Okay, so Watson's Journal is basically just recording conversations more than anything. Alright, what else have we got in here then? A standard 2-drawer dresser filled with cheap cotton underclothes, stockings and jumpers. Teapot. A serviceable, typical china teapot. 100 just like it are sold every day in Wapping. This is an old and shapeless classic brolly, which has clearly survived a number of seasons. The blue muslin fabric is faded, and it is dry despite the wet weather outside. There is a slight bulge in the fabric near the tip. Well then, open the brolly. It's bad luck. A key! Amazing, Holmes! Only you could draw good luck from an action that's supposed to yield its opposite. Thank heavens you're not superstitious. Well, that seems useful. I wonder if that's the key to the drawers. The simple wooden shelf holds a half-dozen assorted tuppenny novels and the Holy Bible. The shelf area is messy. Books are open, spines on 1 or 2 titles are broken. Disgraceful! The crossbar is sturdy and topped with enough coal dust to indicate that it has not been removed any time recently. Okay, I think that might be all we need from here for the minute. Alright, let's see if that key fits. Scotland Yard has been uncharacteristically efficient, Holmes, and it appears they've already moved the body to the morgue. A rough outline of the murder victim drawn in chalk by Scotland Yard for reference in its investigation of the murder site. The body itself and any personal effects have presumably been sent to the morgue. Oh no! Where this key? Does this key work? Use the key on the door. You can't do that. Well, I hope we had everything we needed out of there then. Guess I'll come back. Leave the area, Holmes, please. Holmes? When you ready? There you go. Alright. Oh no, we've got the rugby club down as well. Okay. Let's go to the Parfumerie. Good day, gentlemen. My name is Belle. If you require any assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. A plainly handsome girl is sweeping the floor. She seeks furtive glances at her employer, Belle. Her fearful demeanour is strongly reminiscent of an abused domestic servant. I'm looking for a certain young man who purchased perfume from this shop recently. Beg pardon, sir. The mistress don't permit me to converse with the clients. If she sees me talking to you, I'm sacked for certain. Well then. I'm looking for a young man who purchased some perfume from you recently. I may be able to help you. What scent did he purchase? Eau de Seine. Ah, that is a very popular scent. Of the quality perfumes, it has the most modest price. What does this young man look like? He wears copious amounts of macassar oil in his hair. Is he tall or short? He is very tall, taller than myself. Is he thin or stout? I am as yet unsure of his build. Can you tell me the colour of his hair? He has black hair. I do recall a young man like the one you describe. He wore a striped jersey with a number on it. I remember because when I remarked on it, he said he played rugby at a field near here. Excuse me. I'm afraid I don't recall the number. I would like to purchase some perfume. Very good, sir. Do you have a scent in mind? I was hoping you would make a recommendation. For you, sir, I recommend Pois de Vie. It is subtle and elegant, and any woman of sophistication would be most appreciative of the investment, if I may be so bold. Would you like to purchase a bottle? I wish to think about it. I'll let you know my decision. Very good, sir. When you've decided, I'll be happy to accommodate you. Next season's most extravagant entry in silk and organdie. Virtually guaranteed to attract the newest crop of debutantes as moths to a flame. Okay, I suspect there's not much we can do here for the minute. But we do know the person who purchased the perfume is the same as the one who works at the rugby club. Excuse me, young man. Well, yes, I him. Jenkins, watch what you're about, man. Your tackling technique betrays no knowledge of the sport. It's been years since I stepped onto a rugby pitch, Holmes. That group looks a sorry lot to me. Your current club appears to have excellent athletic skills. I suspect that your guidance will shape them up sharply into a good team. Not with you hanging over my shoulder. I've got 15 blokes who don't know their left foot from their right. What a talented group of muscular lads. The makings of a fine team, if I'm any judge. If you knew anything about Rugby, you'd know that size don't signify. Give me midgets with art and a knowledge of the game, and we'd hold our own. I've got over 30 shirkers scattered over this field. With you pestering me, I'll never beat him into shape. I need to speak with one of your players. When I've left off practicing, you can speak with any of them for as long as you like. If you want to watch, stand with those people over there and stay out of the way. A handsome young couple evaluates the talent of this year's crop of hopeful ruggers trying to make the Kensington club. Rugby ball? What seemed at first glance to be an enormous anemic pig's bladder turns out to be a slightly deflated rugby ball. Stanton, you oaf! Can you not even run down the field without falling on your face? Stay on your feet, lad! I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm assisting the police in the investigation of a serious crime. I must speak with a member of your team. Assisting, eh? Didn't know the coppers needed any assistance. You're meddling, more like. Now stop meddling with me and my team. We got work to do. This is Mr. Sherlock Holmes, the world's greatest consulting detective, working with Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard. Enough. I can see you will not leave me alone until I've satisfied you. Name your man and I'll call him out. I don't know the man's name. Don't know his name? Off with you both. If you can give me a name, I'll deliver your man, but until then, stop wasting my time. Okay, so we need to figure out what his name is. Now, how are we going to do that, I wonder? Oh, we can probably rummage through her belongings now, hopefully. Good day, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson. You'd like to look at a body, I expect. I'll be with you in a moment. Please look around if you wish. The shallow but lethal incisions across this female victim's throat appear to have been made with a surgeon's scalpel or a straight razor. This unfortunate young woman bled to death from deep stab wounds inflicted in her throat and upper chest. Oh dear, excuse me. Fatal stab wounds in my digestive system. The fatal blade may have resembled the one reputed to be wielded by Jack the Ripper. A tray of the medical examiner's tools, scalpels, clamps, needles and sutures. Has Miss Sarah Carroway's body arrived here yet? Yes, I was just filling out some of the paperwork. May I see the personal items that Inspector Lestrade sent with the body? That's not standard procedure, Mr. Holmes, but I suppose there'd be no harm in showing them to you. Wait a moment, won't you? I'll retrieve them from the evidence cabinet in my office. This seems like time to steal something. But there's nothing to steal. A small compact tin of Morley's No. 8 facial talc with a cotton wool applicator. A large iron key of the type usually associated with the locks of iron gates or sturdy external doors. That must be the back door. a delicate gold chain to which is attached a semi-precious violet stone. It appears to be an amethyst and perhaps indicates that the victim was born between January 20th and February 18th. A handsome crimson handkerchief made of Japanese silk. I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes, but I can't allow you to take anything without the proper authorization. Okay, well, we're clearly going to need that stuff, so... Have you learned anything more of the circumstances surrounding Miss Carroway's death? Not really, Mr. Holmes. I did discover a trace quantity of a curious powdery substance on her coat. It doesn't look like cosmetic powder. My laboratory assistant won't be in until tomorrow, so it hasn't been analysed. Would you like to see a sample of it? Indeed, I would. Yes, this looks to be just like the specimen I removed from the body at the murder scene. My analysis showed it to be some sort of arsenic compound mixed with soap. It's a peculiar combination. I can tell you that arsenic had nothing to do with the cause of death. Thank you, Doctor. I'm finished with these effects for now, thank you. Very good, Mr. Holmes. You may view them again whenever you like. I won't send them over to the yard for a day or two. Even concealed by a sheet, poor Sarah's body is a shambles. Alright, I think this is probably a good place to hold it for a sec. So, let's just save here. At the Morgue. And we will pick this up again in the next episode. So for now, just remains for me to say, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.